Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a very good morning. I'm starting this live stream not knowing how many of you will be tuning in. The time right now is 12:43 a.m. So this is March the 3rd of 2026 and it's already Tuesday, so this is very, very early on a Tuesday, and that's why I don't know, work week. I don't know how many people will be tuning in, but um, I have some very important things to discuss, which is why I'm here. And I just want to say that the situation in the Middle East is very intense. Okay, I see Bill is already here. Hello, Bill. Good to see you, Bill. Z is here. Z is writing that Z is in the hospital. Z, what happened? Are you okay? Are you okay? We got one of the members of this wonderful community that we have, Z, is saying he's in the hospital. Z, I hope everything's okay. Right? I hope you're doing okay. Um, if you are unwell, which is why you're in the hospital, we're gonna pray for you, Z. Okay? Let me know if you send me an email. Hold on a second. I'm gonna give you my email address. Send me an email. Oh, virus. Oh, yeah. Well, Z, there are all kinds of different virus. People are becoming sick with different virus, bacterial infections. So I hope you feel better soon, Z. I hope you feel better soon. We're gonna pray for you. Okay, wish you the best. Yeah, keep us posted about your progress to recovery. All right, Z, wish you the best. So, Evelyn's here. Hello, Evelyn. Good to see you, Evelyn. Evelyn from Vegas. We got Z from the La Crosse area. We got Bill from Vegas. Thank you all for being here. So, my friends, as I was saying, the situation in the Middle East is quite intense. And really, I mean, intense is not a strong enough word to describe the situation in the Middle East right now. There are strikes taking place all over the Middle East. And by strikes, I mean drone strikes, missiles and drones. These are weapons of war. Okay, there are strikes taking place all over the Middle East. And the United States Embassy in Saudi Arabia has been struck by drones, according to reports. And I saw that. And I was so shocked. My friends, Saudi Arabia, and I've said this before, is such a wonderful ally of the United States of America. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. I mean, these are all wonderful allies. And I'm so shocked to hear that the United States Embassy in Saudi Arabia has been struck by drones, and so there's so much of tension, and the people in Saudi Arabia are facing so much of stress and anxiety, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And also, I mean, what our service members, military service members, have been going through. It's really heartbreaking, the kind of stress that they're dealing with, the uncertainty of being in a war zone. And anyway, Americans have been instructed to shelter in place, to stay safe. And I don't know if you saw this, Secretary of State Marco Rubio published a video in which he said that at his direction, the Department of State, the department has activated a 24/7 task force that is providing American citizens with the up to the minute safety and security information. And the secretary also provided some information on how people can stay abreast of the latest updates. And he also assured that the department is working round the clock to help people stay safe in the wake of Iran's attacks. Um, so this entire situation, is causing a lot of panic. I mean, think about the people who are at different airports. They're supposed to be catching a plane to go to their destination or to return home, and now they can't because there's so much of tension in the Middle East, and it's a hub for travelers. And I've mentioned this before. I mean, you may be going from the West, a Western country like the US, you may be going from the US to some country in, Asia, and you may have to go through, your plane may go through one of these Gulf states, one of these Middle Eastern countries. Okay? I mean, maybe a stop at Qatar, maybe a stop somewhere in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, and so it's causing huge disruption for the travelers. And then Secretary of State Marco Rubio also advised that all Americans located abroad, particularly those in the Middle East, should enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, which is called the STEP program, um, to receive the latest messages and updates from the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. And also, he advised that U.S. citizens overseas are encouraged to follow the security updates for U.S. citizens channel on WhatsApp, and to follow TravelGov at TravelGov on social media. And the latest alerts, according to Marco Rubio, can also be found at travel.state.gov. Okay, so the Secretary of State obviously is doing a great job trying to keep people safe, trying to share the latest information and the security updates with the people, with the travelers, with the American citizens located in different parts of the world. So, I mean, it's a situation, it's a dynamic situation. Things are changing every minute, every hour, and so you have to stay informed. My friends, I know that this is a time of heightened tension, but you know what? People also need to be calm. People also need to be patient. Okay? And I'm not sure how many of you saw the latest security updates for Americans in the Middle East. The Department of State is now saying that Americans must depart now from the following countries using available commercial transportation. So what are these countries? And keep in mind, I'm going to repeat this. The Department of State is telling the American citizens that if they are in one of these following countries, that they must depart now using available commercial transportation. So what are these countries? Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, obviously, Iraq, Israel, the West Bank and Gaza, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, the United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. Okay, so why are the Americans being asked by the State Department to depart from these countries? Well, it's because of the safety risks, because of serious safety risk, and I'm really sad to be able to. I'm really sad that I'm having to say this. This is heartbreaking news. This is really heartbreaking, but the US military death toll has risen. The US military death toll has risen. Now it's 6 US military service members who have died since this war started. Six precious lives lost, six military service members, American military service members. We're gonna have to pray for their departed souls, and we have to pray for the family, for the families and the loved ones of these six service members who died. Reportedly, out of an abundance of caution, all personnel at the U.S. Embassy in Jordan have temporarily departed the embassy compound due to a threat. Okay, so there's tension in Jordan also. Tension in Jordan. And also there's blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, which is going to have severe impact. The Strait of Hormuz is so crucial, okay? Because if there's any kind of disruption, delay, or blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, it's going to affect the supply of energy. The supply of energy will be severely affected if there's any kind of blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. And I think Asia is going to feel this impact quite strongly. And who knows what might happen in the global energy market. You know, energy we know is the lifeblood of an economy. It is the lifeblood of the global economy. And if there's disruption in the supply of energy, no one knows what might happen. Reportedly, Qatar has paused the production of LNG, which is liquefied natural gas, because of the ongoing missile strikes. Reportedly, Qatar's LNG production is about 20% of global supply, which is a lot. 20% of global supply. So if the LNG production is disrupted, in this case we know that Qatar has paused the production of LNG, it's going to severely impact the global economy. And also, Saudi Arabia has suspended operations at one of its biggest oil refineries after drone attack. And there's a lot going on. There is also news that the United States will increase the number of military personnel deployed in the Middle East. And so, you know, here's a headline: U.S. surges forces to Middle East. And so, you know, how long is it going to go on? Is it going to be days? Is it going to be weeks? It's likely going to be a few more weeks, if not longer. And, you know, there's no way to predict what the outcome will be. We just have to continue to pray for the safety of all Americans in the Middle East, for the safety of our U.S. military service members. And really, we have to pray for world peace. We have to pray for the safety of people all around the world. We want a world where people can, you know, live and trade and interact and travel without fear, okay, without fear of conflict. So we want wars to end. We want peace to prevail. And unfortunately, right now we're seeing some conflicts. But you know what? I'll say this again, which I've said before. We have to have confidence in President Donald J. Trump. We have to have confidence. We have to continue to pray for our Commander-in-Chief, and we have to have confidence that Donald Trump is going to make the right decisions for our country. So that's all I have for today, my friends. I know it's quite late, or I should say pretty early in the morning, so I don't have a whole lot to add at this point. I do have the television on. You know, I'm doing live streams from not my usual location. That's because I like to have the TV on as I'm live streaming, so that you know, whenever there's any kind of a breaking news update, I can see that and I can share that with you. So, my friends, thank you so very much. I know it's a very short live stream, only 15 or so minutes, not even 20 minutes, but I didn't want to discontinue. I wanted to make sure that I keep the continuity, share with you the latest updates, and there's going to be a lot more to talk about in the future. So, subscribe if you have not done so yet. Stay connected, and I'm going to be back again very soon with more videos and more live streams. So, my friends, may God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration. May God bless the Republicans in Washington. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies. And may God bless freedom loving people all over the world. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful night. Have a great morning. And I'll see you soon.